Hi everyone, I'm Aideen and welcome to Playful Pathways. If you've got young children or young grandchildren or nieces or nephews or friends who've got kids or cousins or whatever, then a couple of times a year you're probably thinking about what sorts of toys they're into or what things they like to play. And in this age of constant advertising, it can be really hard to work out which sorts of things are actually going to stand the test of time. As a play therapist, I spend a lot of time playing with toys and thinking about different kinds of play. So today I want to give you my thoughts on what the best kinds of toys are for young children from a few months old to around 7 years of age. Before I do that though, I want to say thank you so much to my awesome Patreon supporters. Your contributions, your suggestions, and your all-round encouragement are helping us to make more content that you guys want to see. If you think you would like to become a Patreon supporter and a member of the Playful Pathways community, then have a look at my Patreon page. Right, back to it. Now, if you've seen my previous videos, you'll know that I don't recommend the more the merrier when it comes to toys. In fact, I think that having fewer toys is definitely better for encouraging imagination, creativity, and problem solving. So this is why I'm quite fussy about the kinds of toys that I have in my play therapy room, and that's what I'm going to base my recommendations to you on. Not on having an abundance of toys, but having a selection of toys and other materials that will allow children to explore different kinds of play as they develop. And the reason that I'm focusing on the first 7 years is because play is the main occupation for children during this period. It's through their play that they're learning pretty much all of their physical skills and their human skills. So that's going to be things like communication, perseverance, teamwork, empathy, cooperation, problem solving, all of those things. And it's through their play they're also going to be learning about the world around them and about themselves. The earliest and simplest kinds of play that we engage in usually involve our senses. So that's what you see with babies and toddlers. They love touching things and tasting things and making sounds. So any kinds of toys and materials that allow children to explore sensory or messy play are really important. So this might include water or sand, Play-Doh, clay, paint, bubbles, and noisy instruments, soft fabrics, and other textured materials. Simple everyday household stuff like hand cream or a bag of cotton balls or a saucepan and a wooden spoon are fabulous for exploring sensory play with little ones. We've all seen the baby who would rather play with the wrapping than the toy. What's great about these simple sensory materials is that they can be used in a range of creative and expressive ways. There's no set or correct way to play with sand or make music. You can do what you want, and it's important that these expressive materials are available to children not just during the baby and toddler years, but for children of all ages. As children get a little bit older and they begin to use their play to understand the world around them, then this is when they start to get interested in things like dolls and figurines and puppets, toys that they can project a story onto and begin to use for practicing the social interactions that they're learning. They also need toys that allow them to be active or to master skills. So in my play therapy room, I have a ball and I have a few cars and trucks, and I also always have something that they can build with, like blocks. At this age, they might also start to get interested in things like simple jigsaw puzzles or simple board games. And again, don't forget the everyday household stuff like recycled egg cartons and toilet rolls that they can make craft from. They're also probably going to be interested in little replicas of things that they see you doing. So it might be like a dustpan and brush or something like that. They're also going to be interested in pens and pencils and crayons at this stage. The next stage is when children begin to be able to role play. They start to explore different ways of being and they want to explore different types of characters. So with that in mind, I always have a few costume pieces and role play toys in the room. So this includes things like a tea set or a play doctor's kit. I always also have a few old household things like old phones, clothes, and accessories. I try not to have things that are too prescriptive because I really want children to feel free to make up their own characters or their own worlds. So I don't have any really specific like superhero costumes, but I might have a very simple cape or even just a piece of fabric that a child could use for a cape if they wanted one. Everyday items that will allow them to use their imaginations are also really important at this age. So that could include things like old sheets or bits of fabric, cushions, safety pins, pegs, string, ropes, cardboard boxes, scrap paper. The list is endless. Now, many of the toys and the materials that I've mentioned will satisfy kids well past the age of 7, but as they get a little bit older, they might start to enjoy things that are associated with a particular interest that they have or skills that they want to develop. So if they're really into football or dancing or reading, if you can work out what interests them and share something or share an experience that celebrates that, they're going to love it. From the age of 7, the part of the brain that loves learning and being challenged is thriving. So things that activate this are great. This might include board games, card games, books, music, and movies. Children of this age, and sometimes even a little bit younger, also often love special or unusual experiences. So if you can think of something that you can do with the child that taps into their interests, or perhaps you can think of something from your own childhood that you'd like to share, then this will often be enjoyed and appreciated so much more than another toy, especially if it's a child who's already got a lot of stuff. And that's about it, really. There doesn't need to be a huge amount of toys to keep children entertained. In my play therapy room, the toys are always the same, and I've never had a child run out of things to do. If there's something that they want that I don't have, I encourage them to problem solve or to improvise with what's available, and they're usually really good at that. So my golden rule for selecting toys is the simpler, the better. The more intricate or prescriptive or mechanized something is, inevitably the fewer uses that it has. Simple toys allow children to project onto them whatever they want and use them in a multitude of ways. And remember, if you're giving a child a toy, be prepared to play with it with them. Your time spent playing with them will probably be much more valued and enjoyed than the toy itself. And that's it. I hope you found this useful. If you want to know more about simplifying the toys in your life, or you want some ideas of fun things that you can do or play with your kids, then check out the other videos on my channel. And if you like them, please hit subscribe so you can be notified when new videos are released. And finally, to become part of the Playful Pathways community, have a look at my Patreon page. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye.